Hi there, my name is Mark Shortland and this is the explanation to my bill switch routine signature. So let's have a look and see what we're going to need for this routine. Well, first of all, we need a box of some description. I'll come back to that in just a few minutes. We also need some papers, and I'll tell you all about these in a couple of minutes as well. Some pens, 2 pens, different colours. Don't really need to come back to those really, just 2 pens of different colours. A thumb tip, all important with the bill switch, and also some cotton. Okay, let's have a look at each of those things individually so you know what you're looking for, and then we can get on with the actual routine. So the box, this is what I use. This is one that I made myself. It's exactly the same size as a card box. All I did was I opened one of these up, cut round it and created my own one. Now the reason why it's red is because when you look inside, it's much easier to see the white piece of paper inside a red box than it is to see a white piece of paper inside a white box. So I made it out of red instead. Okay, not really much else to tell you about the box apart from it wants to fit a thumb tip nicely. So when I say nicely, let me show you. My thumb tip sits in the box like this. Okay, so it's just underneath the top part, and it sits sideways so I can get in and get to it nice and easily. Okay, and it's not too wide, so the thumb tip will sit there and is held in position. As long as I don't shake the box around too much, the thumb tip will sit there, and it means I can get in and I can get to it nice and easily. Okay, so that's the kind of box you're looking for, a card box or something of similar size. The pieces of paper that I use are a particular size. They are 15 centimetres long ways and 7 centimetres down. That means that out of an A4 piece of paper, I can get exactly 3 across and 2 down. So I can get 6 pieces out of an A4 piece. Okay, they are literally just cut. There's nothing special about this. I've got a bit of board on the back that I've covered in sticky back plastic. There's a sellotape, there's an elastic band holding them on, and if you look, it actually says I've had printed on here, or when I say I've had printed on here, I've actually printed it myself. It says markshortland.com, so that when people walk away with this piece of paper, they're walking away with my website as well. So 15 by 7, okay? And you need a bunch of these because you're going to use 2 for every show, okay? So print a load out and cut a load out in one go. So I first saw this routine performed by Jay Sankey a bunch of Blackpools ago, I think, and what he did was he had 2 signatures written down and he put one into his pocket and it switched places. Cool trick, but the problem was in the pocket and I didn't really like that. So what I did was I came up with doing it in a box. So realistically the piece of paper doesn't go out of view, because although it goes into the pocket for Jay Sankey, anything can happen there. With here it does go out of view, but people know exactly where it is. It's kind of in the box, if that makes sense. So I then found out that other people have done it inside a box, Michael Amar and people like that. So that's not really mine either. But what is mine, I think, but I'm not sure, I'm not absolutely positive, but I think it is having the extra piece of paper in the box. Okay, so this starts already in there. It's a white piece of paper. It's a duplicate of what you're going to get them to sign. It starts in the box and it helps with the retention vanish of their signature. Okay, so that's it. So what do we need to do for that? Well, we're going to get one of our pieces of paper and we're going to fold it up as if we're doing the bill switch. So we fold it that way, and that way, like this. So it's folded up into a bill switch package, and then using our cotton. Now bearing in mind I'm using red cotton here because I have a red box. So whatever colour box you use, you're going to use that colour cotton as well, because then it doesn't show up. Okay, we're going to take a piece of cotton and we're going to tie it around this and create a little tail. So here we have it just here that I made earlier on. So I've tied the red cotton around it, like inside the book sort of format, and then there's this tail that hangs out just here. Okay, like this. And then that is going to be stuck inside the box. So it sort of hangs there loose. And you can just see this one, if I drop it down as much as I can, this one is hanging loose inside the box. You can see that? Okay? Now it doesn't want to be stuck solid, because when you put it inside the box, people want to be able to see it move around. But likewise, the tail doesn't want to be so big that if you tip the box upside down, it hangs out. That's a completely different trick. Okay? So you need to do that to your box before we start. But once that's done, that's that gimmick made, and that's that gimmick sorted now forever basically. And we're ready to go. We're good. Okay, so we're all ready to go. I've got my box, I've got my pieces of paper, I have my pens, and the last thing I need is the thumb tip. Now, the thumb tip doesn't start on, the thumb tip actually starts in the box. So we're going to open up the box, and we're just going to lodge the thumb tip inside the box, just at the top. So it's sort of in this position here, just here. So it just lodges in place. The box can be closed up. And that's us ready to go. And because the box is thin enough and it holds the thumb tip in place, and I can feel the thumb tip just where it needs to be, we're all ready to go. So let's start the routine and see how it works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have the papers signed. So I offer a choice of pen, either red or blue, to my volunteer. Okay, so whichever one they choose. They then sign their name on the first piece of paper. So here it is, just here, and I've written that down. That's volunteer's name just here. And then I will write my name with the other colour pen. And I always say we're using the other colour pen so we can tell our names apart. Even if her name is Carol or something like that, it's kind of funny. But I write my name on here, so I'm Magician, and that's in red, and the volunteer's name is in blue. Okay? And then I take my piece of paper and I say watch very closely, because I'm going to do a couple of things, okay? And I'm going to ask you some questions afterwards. So watch. And I'm going to fold this up. Now I'm going to fold it in a correct bill switch fashion. Okay, so we're going to shoot it once from the front, and then I'll show you again from the back. So I'm going to fold it like this, like this, like this, and like this. Okay, and that's it done. And then from here I'm going to pop this into the box. So as I open up the box, what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed the piece of paper inside the thumb tip, put the thumb tip on, and come straight out with the thumb tip at the same time as opening the box up properly and showing them inside so they can see that piece of paper. You see that? Perfect. Okay, so you get a nice retention of vision here. So from here, it goes into the box like that, and you can see it in there. Perfect. Okay, does that make sense? That's the first thing, and now I'm going to close up the box, and we're ready to go. And I have my thumb tip with my piece of paper folded up inside. Okay, and then the box goes down. Let's have a look at that from my side of the view. So this is the over shoulder view, so this is what you're going to see as you fold it up. So I'm folding it away from me in half like this. Then I fold it away from me again, top down, and I do exactly the same again. I fold it away from me like this, and away from me again, top down. 4 folds into that position, and that's it. Okay, that goes in the box. So now I want to do the switch, so I take their piece of paper that says volunteer on it, and I'm going to do the bill switch basically. So I fold it up, and this is exactly the same fold as we did before when we folded up my piece of paper, or the magician's piece of paper, and when we folded up the extra one that went in here. It's always the same fold. Fold it in half, fold it down, fold it in half again, and fold it down like this. And then when we blow, we can open this back up again and show that not only is the ink changed colour, but so has the name, and it now says Magician on here. That means now I have their named piece of paper in the thumb tip, so I can take the box back, I can open up the box, show their piece of paper still inside, or the piece of paper still inside, and then when they're ready, I then look into the box as if I'm looking to see where it is. I put my thumb in it as if to retrieve the piece of paper. I put my thumb in. As I put my thumb in, my hand turns around, grabs hold of the thumb tip from outside of the box and dislodges the thumb tip. So now the thumb tip is in the box with the piece of paper there, and I just tip it out when it actually comes out. Okay, so let's just show you that again. So I've done the switch, I open up the box, show inside, you can see the piece of paper inside just there, and I tip it out. This box just goes down on the table or somewhere, I'm not bothered about it, as I open up this and show that it says them. Okay, so here we go with the switch from over the shoulder. So I've got my thumb tip on, ready to go. We are going to fold it exactly the same way as we folded it before. So, folding from left to right. We fold once, fold across the centre like this, fold the top down, 2. The third one, this is where everything happens. I'm going to fold this a third time here, and as I fold this across, so let me just turn my hand so you can see from the top, as I do this and fold it over, my thumb is going to come across, and I'm going to take this piece of paper out of the thumb tip at the same time. Okay, so it looks like this, and then I can square that up and fold that. So let me just put that back inside so you can see that again. So we fold this over, and as I fold this over, my thumb comes across, my thumb takes hold of the thumb tip, and I pull the piece of paper out like this, and we fold that down. And then the next fold, we turn that whole thing over like this. Now at the moment no one's going to know that's switched because it's white paper for white paper, but as we open it back out again, so you just need to look and find where to open it. We open once. As I open the next time, this is where everything happens again. So I'm going to use my finger to do this to help open up that like a book. So I do this. As I grab it, I feed that inside the thumb tip, and then I can open the rest of it like this and show that the signature has changed on the piece of paper. Okay, so let me just show you that one more time. I'm going to switch it from Magician back to Volunteer. So we fold it in half, in half, in half, and take out that piece of paper, and in half. And then to open it back up again, we do this. Oh, go on, unfold. Oh, you monkey. There, and there, like that. Okay, let's do that one more time just so you can see. Volunteer back to Magician. So once, twice, 3 times, and then fold it over, and then to open it back out again, once, twice, 3 times, and 4 times, and that gives us our switch. So one more time from the front view, even though you never actually see this. This is the spectator's view. We fold it once, twice, 3 times, and 4, and then to open it back up again, once, twice, 3 times, and 4. And now we have the Magician's signature on the piece of paper. So the person can look at that, and I'll hand that out to them quite happily. They can have that, they can keep it. Remember, it's got your website on the bottom, so they can have that. And now we're going to reproduce theirs out of the box. Now the box has been in play the whole time, If you remember, we can open it up, show inside, there's the piece of paper in there, and as I go in, I just dislodge it, drop it out, and we have the spectator's volunteer's signature inside the box. Okay, it also means as well, because I'm putting the thumb tip exactly back to where it started, that this is now reset, so I can just close the box, put it back into my pocket, and I'm ready to go again. Absolutely nothing to do. One time I've had somebody go, is there anything else in the box? And I shook it and went no, because I held onto the thumb tip, went no, and they went, oh okay then. So people don't really want to look at the box, they're happy to look at the pieces of paper. They think somehow blue and red is hot and cold, and one has got hot and changed into the other one. I have no idea. What they come up with is far more spectacular than what we actually do. But that's basically the explanation for my signature switch. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have fun with it. I certainly do. Thanks very much, and I will see you at some point at the convention, no doubt.